Mr. Speaker, sir, reply to question number 42A. Yes, sir. B. Sir, the field units of the State Police Department had been alerted to take necessary preventive measures immediately. C. In order to ensure that further recurrence of such incident is averted, the field information have been advised to carry out prior intelligence gathering. The core police unit, right from the police station level to the beat house, outpost level, have been sensitized to ensure that all security measures as per established procedures are taken into consideration in the day-to-day deployment of their respective areas and jurisdictions, apart from various strategies that needs to be adopted on a case or situational basis. The specialized branch of the police department are also undertaking various stringent security measures to ensure that such incidents does not occur in the future, and law and order situation is being closely monitored from time to time.
Mr. Home Minister, may I know why the government has failed to take preemptive action when they only had the inputs about a probable blast?
Mr. Speaker, sir, as I have already mentioned, that we have already alerted all the police station and outposts, and we have marked the vulnerable area. But we don't expect that this IED blast will happen in that particular place.
I mean, to say, the government knew that there will be such blasts. I just want whether government had an intelligent inputs that blast will occur.
Yes, sir.
So my question is, why this blast occurs then?
Sir, I have already mentioned that we have alerted, and the police intelligence of the police department have working over time to see that to prevent this blast. But as I said before, that we don't expect that this blast will occur in that particular area. We have marked many vulnerable area in the Shillong area, and we have taken measures. But as I said, that we didn't expect that this will happen in that particular place.
Sir, Home Minister told the press after the blast that there was a lapse. What was the nature of this lapse?
Sir, the press asked me that whether it's intelligence failure. I told no. We have the input that somebody will try to trigger a blast in the city. Then we have taken all the precautionary measure, but I come back again. We never ever expect that in that particular area. That's why lapse of preventing in that particular area, sir.
Okay. May I know from the Home Minister, following the IED blast in Laimkura in certain areas, the police conducted a raid on the 13th of August in the residence of Mr. Chesterfield. Thank you. May I know from the Home Minister, is there any link to this IED blast?
Sir, after this blast, the government has the police department investigate, and the lead is that Chesterfield, thank you, was involved in that blast. That's why the police have taken a precautionary measure. Moreover, sir, there is credible intelligence input that blasts will occur in the intervening night of 12, intervening date of 12 of August 2021 and 15 of August 2021. That's why the police have to act so that the necessary security and safety of the citizen of the state could be given, sir.
So, is it necessary?
You have the last question, last supplementary question.
Okay, is it necessary for the department when they know, that a suspect, so to say, that he is a suspect. This is not necessary for the government to just go and inquire and ask him to come to the police station for further inquiry. Why it has to go in the 3 o'clock in the morning and raid?
Sir, the time of the raid, the time of arrest, and the urgency of the matter, that it is not for, it is the police department should look and they will see and what are the credible input which they have to prevent, and that information is that, that's why they do at a particular time, sir.
Yeah, process, please.
So, may I know from Honorable Home Minister, because since you have the name of the killing of Mr. Chesterfield, thank you, has already been named by the Honorable Home Minister. So may I know from Honorable Home Minister, instruction on the day of 13 that to go and visit the house of Mr. Chesterfield, thank you, whether to arrest or to kill him, and also that how many police officers were involved on the day of visiting the house of Mr. C. Thank you, sir.
So, the police have no right to kill any person. The police job is to prevent the crime. The police job is to arrest the culprit, and it is for the law for the to gather evidence and produce in the court, and it's up to the court to do. But what happened in that intervening in that morning, sir? The government have already instituted a judicial inquiry on the 20th of August 2021, and in this inquiry, all the aspect will be looked into, and the government want to come clear what happened there. So we will wait for that report, sir.
Yeah, okay.
So may I know from Honorable Home Minister, so on the day that, or 13, that Mr. C. Thank you was killed, then on 15 August that Honorable Home Minister have been resigned. May I know from Honorable Home Minister whether that resignation letter that he has been resigned, whether accepted or not by the Honorable Chief Minister? Then we would like to
please confine the supplementary questions to the principal question.
So that is also, sir?
No, it's not part of the principal question.
Okay, so if that...
Please confine to the principal question.
So the main important for here. So I like to get information from the Honorable Minister, because according to the CRPC, that a sick person, he knows the law, the man of holding the law behind him, he will guide him. According to CRPC, that a sick person cannot be arrested before sunrise and cannot be arrested before sunset. But because of that reason, that I may say that the police have violated the CRPC, sir. May I know from the Honorable Home Minister, the further on that CRPC, sir?
So I have already mentioned that the government have already instituted the judicial inquiry to look into all the aspects leading into that incident on the 13th morning, sir.
So, keeping in mind and listening to the course of reply of the Honorable Home Minister on start question 42, I would like to ask, sir, what was the extent of this blast? And who was responsible for the blast?
The blast in Laimkra is 1 kg 522, 1.524 kg of high explosive neogel commercial gelatin stick. And 3 people have been arrested and investigation is going on.
So may I know who is responsible since 3 persons have been arrested?
The matter is under investigation, and HNLC also claim that they are responsible on that. So that also under investigation, sir.
So my third question, is Mr. Thmu a member of the HNLC cadre?
He is a retired member of HNLC.
So define the word retired, because media reports clearly indicate that he is a surrendered militant who was welcomed back to mainstream society by this government.
That is the statement made by the late Charisma. Thank you, sir.
Hima,
Thank you, sir.
already
Sir,
One clarification, sir.
last.
That was the statement made by the late Mr. Thmu, or was he accepted in the Secretariat in the presence of the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister as per media report?
He is accepted.
Okay, Bahima, please.
thank you, sir. Sir, may I know from the Honorable Home Minister whether he was aware and he knew about this whole operation, sir?
So, we got information that blast will be happen and is happening on the 10th of August 2021 in Laimkra. We have alerted the police to do all the necessary things to see and to prevent the blast. And we got, as I have already spoken, that we got the credible input, intelligence input, that more blasts will occur on the intervening night of the 13th and 15th of 12th and 15th of August 2021, sir.
So my question was, the operation that was conducted on the 13th of August at 3 a.m. in the residence of the late Thmu, was the Home Minister aware about this operation in Maulai Kentan Mosal?
See, the investigating of the case, the police department have the responsibility to do and to take all necessary steps that what to do to prevent this, the intention of the government is that safety and security of the citizen is paramount, and the police should do necessary thing, and when the case have already been registered, that they are part of investigation, they will do necessary thing what it is needed to do.
So we understand that the Home Minister is not in the knowledge about this operation that was conducted at 3 a.m. in the residence of Thmu. Thank you. My question, Mr. Speaker, sir, then who did the police take into consideration, or with whose approval did the police conduct this operation in the house of Mr. Thmu?
They are mandated as per the law, since the case have been registered, and they have to gather evidence, and if any suspect is there, it is duty of police to nab the culprit and investigate the case so that the case could be reached into logical conclusion, sir.
And does that mean also killing the person, sir, instead of arresting?
I have already mentioned, sir, that nobody have the right to kill any person. The duty of the police is to arrest the culprit, to prevent the crime, arrest the culprit or the criminal, and build the evidence and present in the court. But what happened in that? So that's why judicial inquiry have been instituted, sir.
So the administrative prudence demands that the officials or the police personnel who are involved in the excess by causing death to a suspect, I feel that the government should have taken action against such officials by way of suspension or asking them to go on leave. This is what we consider as administrative prudence. Is the government considering this?
The intention of the police is to prevent the crime happen in the state. They went with intention that to prevent any more IED blasts and also to arrest the culprit. So that's why the intention is very clear, that the main intention is to prevent, to take the measure for the safety and security of the state. So at this juncture, sir, it is better to wait for the judicial inquiry to be completed so that whatever truth on that report, then we will surely take necessary action, sir.
Mr. Speaker, sir, may I know from the Honorable Minister whether the surrendering or whatever terminology the government uses or prefer to use, like the Home Minister referring to the surrendering as retirement, whether this was done keeping in mind that late Chesterfield, thank you, was a member of a proscribed organization, whether this whole exercise, which was done officially in the office chamber of the Deputy Chief Minister, was done with the approval of political department.
Repeat the question, please. I cannot get it.
The whole development that culminated to the late Chesterfield, thank you, coming and surrendering or otherwise whatever nomenclature they have used to indicate the whole development, retirement or whatever, whether this was done keeping in mind that the late Chesterfield, thank you, was a member of proscribed organization, whether this was done with the approval of political department.
This is not related to the principal question, but however, I think, can you answer to that?
Sir, we, the government of the day, follow all the process which need to be followed in this process, sir.
Mr. Speaker, sir, why I have put this question is in order to draw the attention of the government that when we are dealing with a member who has either surrendered, let me use the word very clearly. There is no other word which can be officially accepted. Who have surrendered and agreed to assimilate himself with the national mainstream. There's a procedure. Now with that procedure also comes of monitoring his activities, whether therefore all through this period of time after his surrendering, till the time when the governments woke up and realized that, okay, intelligence inputs indicate that he is getting involved in these activities. What was the status of the inputs received in respect of his activities prior to this incident?
I will not reply to that, sir, because as I said, that the circumstance leading to that incident, why the notification of the government, which issued on 20th of August 2021, clearly spelled out. So that circumstance will be there. So it is, I don't want to prejudge or anything on that issue, sir.
No, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, let me complete my part. Let it not be disturbed. This important aspect. Because we are dealing with an instance of very serious nature which has created a kind of law and order situation in the state. Now, there is likelihood that the input should have been there, even prior to the last input which indicated about the likelihood of resorting to whatever activities was put up here as per the inputs, as far as the activity of late Chesterfield, thank you, is concerned. But we are talking about dealing with a member who have decided to assimilate himself with the national mainstream through a process, through a due process, which is in inconsistency with the procedure itself. Therefore, whether government has at any point of time, after receiving such input that led Cherister Pynbthei is resorting to any kind of activities which is contrary to the law, whether there was an attempt to call on him by the kind of procedure which is adopted by the government usually to deal with those surrenderies, so that we do counseling, that they don't slip back, whether that exercise was done or not.
As I said, all process have been done, sir. But I stick to my reply, sir, that this aspect is also there in the term of reference of the Commission of Inquiry, sir.
Mr. Speaker, sir,
please.
This question, as a supplementary to this, only one last, Mr. Speaker.
Sorry.
This is my fifth one. Only last.
Okay, but don't take that long.
In
please.
view of,
just give up, please, the question.
In view of this unexpected and whatever incident, are we able to get an assurance from the government? Because we have plenty of surrenderies who have surrendered, or in other words, withdrawn themselves from their respective militant organizations, insurgent outfits, proscribed organizations, and agreed to be part of the national mainstream. Now, whether in view of this unfortunate incident, whether the government will now make an effort to ensure that a mechanism is adopted to talk to all those surrenderies and ensure that they don't slip back and create this problem, whether we can get this assurance from government or not.
The scope of discussion on this question is very limited. On the Rule 10 of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business on this August House, it clearly spells out about what we have to discuss. And it shall not only ask about matters pending before any statutory tribunal or statutory authority performing any judicial or quasi-judicial functions or any commissions or court of inquiry appointed to inquire into or investigate any matter, but may refer to matters concerned with procedure or subject to stage of inquiry. If it is not likely to prejudice the consideration of the matter by the tribunal or commission or court of inquiry. I have admitted this question, but the limitation for discussion on this is very limited. Ms. Badalbat, and I have to go by the rules and procedure and conduct of business of this August House.
Okay.
Please.
We want a satisfied response from the Home Minister, Honorable Home Minister. Through you, Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to put a specific question, and I want a specific answer. Honorable Minister, please, don't be shaky, don't be coward.
Honorable Member, please ask. Please a question, supplementary
Yes.
question. This is the question
I'll come
our.
to that, sir. I'll come
I have
that,
to go
sir.
by the
So I
rules
just-
of procedure and conduct of business by this book.
Yes, sir, I agree.
Simply as that.
Yes. So I just like to get a clarity, so that this citizen of the state should know the mind of the government. I really wanted to know whether this incident taken place as what we observe is a pre-plan. So we just want to know the authority who give an order to arrest or to shoot at sight. Please be specific, because I don't want to see that any authority should harass or suppress our innocent youth just to show to the world that we, police, we are doing our own job.
You can answer for that. I'll allow.
Sir, as I said before, the government has already issued the notification number political 149/2021/3, date 20th August 2021, which will look into all those aspects.
Sir,
We move to.
sir, you should understand. I'm asking my question. You do not answer my
He has
question.
to respond.
No. I just wanted to know whether arrest or shoot at sight.
Be specific.
Because why? We have seen the statement. It was totally contradictory among DGP, among Chief Minister and Home Minister. Whom to believe?
Okay.
They are playing dramatic. You are alleging me that I'm dramatic. How can it be? Please.
Honorable member, this is completely objectionable, sir. This kind of behavior is not something that we follow in this house.
Respect, we are not supposed to play dramatic out in this God's house.
Please sit down. I did not disturb you.
Honorable member, please take a seat.
Please sit down.
Honorable member, please take a seat.
Sir, the Honorable Home Minister has replied again and again and again that there is a judicial inquiry that is going on. It is inappropriate. Sir, it's inappropriate for the Honorable Minister to say something when an inquiry is going on. And therefore, he has said again and again that let the inquiry come out and let the entire report come out of the inquiry. And based on that, wherever action is to be taken, will be taken. So that is assurance we have given. But the process needs to be followed. One cannot just stand up here and start getting emotional and starting shouting things like this when we are saying that we had taken concrete steps. So judicial inquiry is the most powerful inquiry that can be set up in this situation to ensure that facts come out. And that is what this government has done, because we want the truth and the facts to come out and let everybody know. So therefore, the minister has replied again and again. So I don't feel the reason why the member has to continuously ask this question when we have already replied that a judicial inquiry has been constituted, and let the report come in, and based on the report, we will take necessary action, sir.
I'm not satisfied, sir. Please ask the Honorable Home Minister. Please. This is the only platform that we have to discuss. That we need to know the fact.
Okay, this is the last question.
I have already replied, sir.
So regarding this matter, I've already mentioned about the rule. I miss only one word, sir. But it is a mistake of the Honorable Home Minister to reply of this question, sir. It is a big mistake. Yesterday, I've already received a letter that is a sub judice, but how he replies, sir? It is a mistake. It is his mistake that he reply of this. I just listening. I thought that he will reject of all reply, but he reply. But he violated, sir. He violated sub judice. Actually, this matter will come tomorrow. You have already sent letter to me. I don't admit it because of sub judice. But for him, it's all right. But for the members, you have objects, sir.
Okay, take a seat, please. I stand corrected also when I refer to Rule 10. It is Rule 37, sub Rule 10.